I was supposed to hate him. That's the thing about being betrayed. It's supposed to be simple. You get hurt, you get angry, you move on. But nothing about this was simple, and nothing about him was hateable, which was exactly the problem. It's 2 a.m. when Sarah slips out of bed like smoke. I don't move. I don't ask where she's going. We stopped asking questions 6 months ago. We stopped doing a lot of things. Like sleeping in the same room, like looking at each other at dinner. Like pretending we were still married instead of just two people who shared a mortgage and resentment in equal measure. "Don't wait up," she whispers. And she's already gone before I can pretend to be asleep. I watch from the window as she gets into a car I've never seen. It's expensive. It's black. It waits for her with its lights off. The driver doesn't get out, a small cruelty that. He doesn't even pretend to care enough for that gesture. Sarah slides in like she's been doing this for years, and maybe she has. The car pulls away and I stand there in the dark of our bedroom, gripping the windowsill, feeling something crack inside my chest that I can't quite name. My phone buzzes at 4 a.m., unknown number. My hand moves before my brain catches up. Some part of me has been waiting for this call since the moment she left. Is this David Chen? A woman's voice, frantic, professional. Hospital voice. Yes. Your wife, Sarah Chen, has been admitted to County General following a motor vehicle accident. Can you... I hang up. Not because I don't care. Because I care so much that for a moment the cruelty of it, the cosmic joke, actually makes me laugh. I laugh like I'm breaking apart, and maybe I am. The drive to the hospital is 17 minutes. I know this because I count them. Every red light feels personal. Every other car on the road feels obscene. By the time I'm parking, I've already decided what I'm going to do. The waiting room smells like fear and hand sanitizer. I sign something. A nurse directs me, and then I see him. He's sitting in the hallway outside Sarah's room, his head in his hands, a scrape running down his left temple. His shirt is torn at the collar. There's blood on his watch. He's probably 35, maybe younger. The kind of beautiful that makes you want to trust someone immediately, which is how I know he's dangerous. He looks up when I walk past, and our eyes lock for exactly 2 seconds. In those 2 seconds, I see his guilt. I see his desperation. I see something else too. Something that looks almost like relief, like my arrival is the thing he's been hoping for. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't matter. But it does. You're David, he says. Not a question. I don't stop walking. I push open the door to Sarah's room and step into the space where everything I thought I knew dies. Sarah's face is a canvas of contusions. The right side swollen, purple blooming beneath her skin like flowers in fast forward. Her left arm is in a cast. Her eyes are closed, but she's breathing. The monitor beeps in rhythm with her fractured heart. Or maybe that's just the machine. Maybe human hearts don't actually break with sound. A nurse is checking her vitals. She smiles at me like I'm a good husband coming to comfort his injured wife. The lie of it makes me want to scream. I wait until we're alone. The divorce papers are in my car, printed 3 weeks ago, sitting in a manila envelope on the passenger seat like a seed waiting to germinate. I don't know when I decided to bring them, only that I did. That some part of me knew exactly how this night would end. I stand over her hospital bed and I pull them out. My hands are shaking. They're shaking so badly that I have to set them on the blanket next to her good arm so I can smooth them flat. The paper crinkles. It sounds like thunder. When the nurse comes back, I hand her the envelope. Make sure she gets these, I say. Sir, I don't think that's appropriate right now. She's been through significant trauma. Make sure she gets these, I repeat. I'm walking back through the hallway when he stands up. His name is Marcus. I'll learn this later, like it matters. Right now, he's just the man who reached out as I pass, his hand finding my arm with the certainty of someone who thinks he's earned that right. Please, he says. I know what you're thinking, and I shake him off. But in that moment, something in his expression, something raw and genuine, makes me pause. He's not pleading for forgiveness. He's not defending himself. He looks like someone who's watching the world end and knows it's his fault. I love her, he says. And here's the thing that ruins everything. I believe him. That night, sitting in my car in the parking garage, I call him. I don't know how I have his number. He must have given it to Sarah. She must have left it somewhere for me to find, or maybe I downloaded it from her phone weeks ago and just forgot. The details don't matter. What matters is that he answers on the first ring like he's been waiting. Hello? His voice is different on the phone, younger, uncertain. Don't ever contact me again, I say. David, if you do, I'll destroy you. I hang up. But I don't delete his number. And over the next 7 days, while Sarah recovers in a hospital room and I sleep in my car, and the divorce papers sit in her hands, I'll text him 17 times, and he'll respond to every single one. She comes home on a Tuesday. I pick her up because that's what you do. We don't speak in the car. We don't speak when we get home. The silence is a living thing now, breathing with its own lungs, taking up all the air in the house. It's only when she's sitting on the couch, ice pack against her face, that she finally speaks. You left me the divorce papers at the hospital. I say nothing. You left me divorce papers while I was unconscious. David, while I was broken. You were already broken, I hear myself say. You broke first. She laughs, actually laughs, and then winces because laughing hurts her bruised ribs. That's what you think this is? Broken? What else would you call it? I'd call it being alive for the first time in 10 years. The words land like a fist. I'd been expecting anger. I'd been expecting her to cry or apologize or try to explain. This radical honesty is something else entirely. It's the moment when I realize I've been wrong about almost everything. Tell me, I say. She meets my eyes, and hers are clearer than I've seen them in years. The bruises make her look smaller, more vulnerable, but her gaze is steel. We got married because it was the thing to do. We stayed together because it was easier than leaving. And somewhere in all that, we both disappeared. I disappeared. You disappeared. We became ghosts in the same house. So Marcus fixed that? No, I fixed that. He reminded me that I was someone capable of choosing, that I wasn't just a wife or a daughter or an employee, that I could want something impossible and take it anyway. I stand up and walk to the window. Outside, the street is normal. People walking dogs, someone mowing their lawn. The world hasn't ended even though mine has. He's sorry, I hear myself say. What? Marcus, he's sorry. He keeps texting me, telling me how sorry he is. I can hear her moving behind me, her movements careful, limited by pain. When she speaks again, her voice is different, softer. Are you? She asks. Sorry? I turn to face her. She's standing there in her wrinkled clothes and her bruises, and I'm struck suddenly by the fact that I don't know her at all, that maybe I never did, that we built our marriage on the foundation of not looking too closely at who the other person actually was. For what? I ask, for not asking where I was going, for not caring, for being so checked out that I had to find someone else to remind me I was worth something. The cruelty of it is exquisite. Because she's not wrong, I don't love you anymore, she says. I think I haven't for a very long time. But I'm sorry for how I did this. I'm sorry for the way I did it. I want to tell her that sorry doesn't matter. That betrayal is betrayal no matter what feelings came before it. Instead, I say he's going to leave you too. People like that, they always do. She almost smiles. Maybe, but at least when he does, I'll know that he was real. That I chose something real, even if it was wrong. The accident report comes through 2 weeks later. Sarah and Marcus were T-boned at an intersection. Marcus ran a red light, texting according to the police report. Distracted, careless. The kind of small mistake that gets people killed. He'd been coming to pick Sarah up from work. It's right there in the statement. She'd called him. He'd come. They were driving to a hotel. What they don't tell you in accident reports is the stuff that matters. I don't mean to run into him. But I do. The hospital again, he's having his arm checked. We meet at the coffee station in the lobby. He looks destroyed. Actually destroyed. His arm is in a sling. His face is pale. He's aged 10 years and 2 weeks. David. My name sounds like a confession in his mouth. How is she? Healing. Better every day. We stand there in the middle of the hospital lobby, two men who should be enemies, and I'm struck by how young he looks. How breakable. How human. She's leaving me, he says suddenly. I don't respond. I know, he continues. I know that's what I deserve. I know she's finally realizing what a mistake I was. But I wanted you to know, I wanted someone to know that I was serious. About her. I wasn't using her. I wasn't playing some game. I actually love her. The words are steady, sincere, completely, terrifyingly genuine. Then why were you texting me? I ask. Every single day telling me you were sorry? Why were you reaching out to me instead of fighting for her? He's quiet for a long moment. Because, he finally says, I think I love you too. Not like that, but you were the thing she couldn't leave. Even when she was with me, she was thinking about you. About disappointing you. About whether you'd forgive her. And I realized that I wasn't competing with me. I was competing with 10 years of history. With the ghost of who you were to each other. That's insane, I breathe. I know. She crashed the car, I say. You ran a red light. Yes, because of me, I realize. She was leaving. She'd already decided to leave me. And you were distracted because you were texting me apologies instead of keeping your hands on the wheel. His face cracks. She would have left me anyway, but yes, it's my fault. I could destroy him right now. I could remind him that he nearly killed my wife. That his carelessness and his texting and his need for my forgiveness almost erased her from the world. I could make him feel the weight of that. Instead, I do something worse. I believe him. 6 months later, I'm sitting in Marcus's apartment. Not because we're friends. Because Sarah asked me to be here and I'm still learning how to say no to her even now. Especially now. The divorce was finalized on a Tuesday. I remember the courtroom being smaller than I expected. More brutal in its ordinariness. The judge stamped papers. We didn't have to say anything. There was nothing left to say. Sarah signed her new name off the documents and I signed mine into the past. The apartment is minimalist, expensive but cold, the kind of place that looks like it's stage-dressed for people who haven't actually lived yet. There are expensive pieces of furniture arranged with mathematical precision. A view of the city that probably cost more than my car, but nothing feels inhabited. No books with broken spines. No photographs. No evidence that anyone here has ever actually been lonely. That's when I realize Marcus doesn't know how to make a home because he's never had one. He builds moments, not lives. Sarah's things are scattered now. A sweater on the back of the couch, a coffee mug in the sink, her reading glasses on the windowsill. She's trying to soften this place with her presence. It's a kindness I didn't expect from her. Thank you for coming, Marcus says. His voice is different than I remember. Smaller. The confidence that used to drip from him in our hospital lobby encounter has evaporated. He looks nervous, genuinely nervous, like I'm here to execute some final judgment. We're alone in the living room. Sarah's in the shower. I can hear the water running, hear her humming something, the same song she hummed while cooking breakfast when we were married. The domesticity of it guts me more than any betrayal could. I wanted to talk to you, I say, before the wedding. His entire body goes rigid. Okay, I'm not here to tell you not to do it. I'm not going to beg you to let her go or remind you that you nearly killed her, or any of the things I should probably say. I stand and walk to his window. The city sprawls below us, indifferent and vast. I wanted to tell you what I figured out. In the last 6 months, in all those nights I didn't sleep. He doesn't respond, just waits. When Sarah left that night, the 2 a.m. call, I told myself I didn't care, that I was relieved, that maybe I was finally free. I turned back to face him. But the truth is, I was terrified. Because not caring would mean I was a terrible husband, and I needed to be a good husband even if I wasn't a present one, even if I wasn't actually there. David, let me finish. My voice is harder than I intended. You came in and you actually made her choose. You didn't let her have it both ways. And that's not romantic. It's not noble. It's selfish as hell. But it was honest in a way my entire marriage wasn't. He's crying now, actually crying. Silent tears tracking down his face like he doesn't have the energy to pretend anymore. So I'm not here to forgive you, I continue. I'm here to tell you that you saved me from becoming someone I didn't want to be. Someone comfortably numb. Someone half alive. I pause. And that if you ever take that for granted, if you ever stop seeing her as something real and precious and rare, I will make sure you regret it. Not because I love her anymore, but because I remember what it feels like to disappear. And I won't let that happen to her again. Not on my watch. He nods. He just nods, tears streaming down his face, and something in the way he accepts this, no excuses, no deflection, makes me believe maybe he actually means it. Maybe he's actually learned something. Sarah emerges from the bedroom then, wrapped in a towel, her hair wet. She takes in the scene, Marcus crying, me standing by the window, and she doesn't ask questions. Instead, she walks to him and puts her hand on his shoulder. It's a small gesture, but it's so achingly tender that I have to look away. We're getting married in the spring, Sarah says carefully, like she's offering me a last chance to run. We wanted you there. We know that's a lot to ask. I expected the pain. What I didn't expect was the absence of it. What I feel instead is something like recognition, like I'm finally seeing them clearly. Not as a betrayal of me, but as two people choosing each other with full knowledge of what that choice costs. I'll be there, I say, and I mean it. In the car on the drive home, I replay the moment again and again. The way Sarah's hand found Marcus's shoulder, the way he leaned into her touch like she was the only solid thing left in his life, the way he cried, not with self-pity but with something that looked almost like gratitude. Like he was grateful I'd shown up to tell him what he needed to hear, that his life mattered, that what he did with it mattered, that he couldn't just coast on charm and beautiful carelessness anymore. The drive takes 40 minutes. I live in a studio apartment now, 3 blocks from the university where I picked up a teaching position. It's small and sparse and entirely mine. On the walls I've hung photographs from my life before Sarah, my parents, my brothers, evidence that I existed before I became the husband, proof that I have continuity, that I'm not just a ghost haunting a marriage. 2 weeks later, I'm invited to their engagement dinner. A small thing, just close friends, Marcus says. But I understand what it really is. It's an audition. It's me proving I can be in the same room as them and not combust. It's them proving they can celebrate in front of me without cruelty. The restaurant is trendy. Too much chrome and raw concrete. The kind of place that's designed to make you feel like you're part of something sophisticated. Sarah wears a navy dress that brings out her eyes. Her collarbone is still marked with the faintest remnants of bruises from the crash, though by now they're invisible to anyone but me. I find my gaze drawn to them like a compass finding north. Marcus watches me watching her. There's something in his eyes, not jealousy exactly, but awareness, recognition that I'll always be the man who knew her first, that there's a history between Sarah and me that he can never fully access. During dinner, Sarah mentions that she's been seeing a therapist, that she's trying to understand why she needed external validation so badly, that she'd blow up her entire life to feel it. Marcus squeezes her hand. He's been seeing someone too, he admits, working on his impulse control. His tendency to leave wreckage wherever he goes. They're trying. They're actually trying. I have something to tell you both, I say halfway through the main course. They tense simultaneously. I can see them thinking the worst, that I'm going to object to the wedding, that I'm going to ask for Sarah back, that I'm going to make this complicated. I'm dating someone, I say. Her name is Elena. She's a social worker. She has a 7-year-old daughter named Maya. And I'm terrified, but I'm actually present for it. I'm actually showing up. Sarah's face breaks into a genuine smile. Not the polite thing she's perfected over years of performing happiness, but something real. Something that looks like relief. That's wonderful, Marcus says, and he means it. There's no competition in his voice. Just happiness that I'm building something. The wedding happens on a Saturday in April. The weather is perfect. The kind of spring day that feels like the universe is cooperating with your narrative. Sarah walks down the aisle in a dress that costs more than my first car, and I'm struck by how young she looks, how unburdened, like she's finally allowed to be exactly who she is without apologizing for it. I sit in the 3rd row with Elena and Maya. Maya is bored halfway through the vows, fidgeting with my tie. Elena rests her hand on my leg like that's the most natural thing in the world. Like she knows something I'm still learning. When they kiss, the room erupts in applause. Marcus dips Sarah like they're in a movie, and she laughs. That same laugh that used to light up my mornings now belonging to someone else. I don't feel betrayed watching this. I feel like I'm witnessing the world right itself after months of being tilted wrong. At the reception, Marcus finds me at the bar. He's drunk on champagne and the relief of actually making it through the day without some catastrophe. Thank you for being here, he says. The same words he said at his apartment, but different now. Weighted with genuine gratitude instead of guilt. Thank you for making her happy, I reply. He nods slowly. I think I finally understand what you meant. That day in my apartment, about being real instead of performing. I think I've spent my whole life performing, being the charming guy, the seducer, the man who doesn't need anything from anyone. And then I met Sarah, and suddenly I was terrified because she actually wanted the real version, the broken version. Are you? I ask. The broken version? Completely, he says. And he laughs like it's the most liberating thing he's ever admitted. Later, after the dancing and the speeches, I find myself outside the venue at the edge of the parking lot. Elena is inside saying goodbye to Sarah. The night is cool. The city lights blur against the dark sky. My phone buzzes. A text from Marcus. I'm sorry I ruined you. And I'm grateful it led you here. I read it 3 times. Then I save it instead of deleting it. Because the thing about betrayal is that sometimes it's the only way to shatter someone enough that they can actually heal. Sometimes the person who breaks your life is the person who frees you. Sarah and Marcus will probably last another year before something shifts. Or maybe they'll last forever. The point isn't whether they make it. The point is that I'm finally okay either way. I'm okay with uncertainty now. I'm okay with the fact that love doesn't mean possession. That letting someone go isn't the same as not caring. That sometimes the cruelest thing you can do is actually the kindest. Elena emerges from the venue and she finds me immediately. She doesn't ask what I'm thinking about or where my mind was. She just stands next to me in the darkness and waits. Ready? She asks. I take her hand. Yeah, I say. I'm ready. But I'm thinking about Sarah. I'm thinking about Marcus. I'm thinking about that 2 a.m. call and how it led me here. To this exact moment standing in the dark with someone who makes me want to be present. Someone who makes me want to be real, and I'm grateful for the betrayal, for the crash, for the divorce papers and the hospital room, and every moment of pain that led me to understand that sometimes you have to lose everything to gain something that matters.